Hi, and welcome to my video for the long-standing science fiction television series, Doctor Who. Today I will be reflecting on Peter Capaldi's time as the Doctor and the 5 stories that best define his era. I will be selecting one story from each of his 3 seasons as the beloved Time Lord, and an essential pick and the story that best represents his form of the Doctor. This is the essential guide to the 12th Doctor, Peter Capaldi. Right, let's get started. Peter Capaldi first aired in the TARDIS in the title role on August 23, 2014, and ended his tenure as the Doctor on Christmas Day of 2017. I could have gone with his initial outing for the commencement of this video, but have instead chosen the episode Listen from the 8th season of the Revival series. The 8th season isn't regarded as one of the finest among the many of the series' history. Thus, for every good episode Capaldi had, 3 or 4 questionable ones would precede it. Listen, however, perfectly embodies Peter Capaldi's style and plays to his strengths as an actor. The story also builds on the Doctor's development as a character by giving us a glimpse into his life as a child. It's also noteworthy to mention that Clara seems to fit better within her role as companion for this adventure. More is revealed in regards to her importance in the Doctor's timeline, but she is not so overpowering that she steals center stage. It's not a perfect story by any means. Its dark tone adds to the dreary nature of the Doctor and Clara's relationship. However, in spite of its flaws, this was the first story that seemed tailor-made for Capaldi, and a serial that I could not see as being a good fit for any of his predecessors. The next story on my list for essential episodes of the 12th Doctor is also from Capaldi's inaugural season, The Mummy on the Orient Express. Phew! Peter Capaldi must have wiped his brow after reading this script and thought, at least I have my own classic and won't be regarded as another Colin Baker. Like the episode Listen, this story plays to Capaldi's strengths, but also fits well with Jenna Coleman. The two of them work well, and guest star Frank Skinner is also surprisingly good. It's a simple story with an equally simple resolve, but the tension and pace is electric. This is one adventure that would easily make my own top 10 personal favorite Revival series list. After a disappointing end to a disappointing season, we got a season opener that played out with an intensity of a season finale. I'm talking about the 2-part serial The Magician's Apprentice and The Witch's Familiar. For me, this story is a prime example of the best and worst of the Capaldi era. First, let's talk about some of its best. The opening scene is fantastic. The war-torn setting, the boy trapped in the middle of a minefield, the Doctor offering to help only to discover that the boy is Davros, the would-be creator of the Daleks. Yeah, sure, it takes directly from the classic story from the Tom Baker era, but why shouldn't it? It only works to emphasize the menace of the Daleks, the importance of Davros, and pays homage to the classic years of Tom's part in its legacy. The Daleks have always been a vital aspect of the show, and if that wasn't good enough, this story also includes another of the Doctor's long-standing foes, the Master, or rather, Missy. On the downside of this story, the resolve to the cliffhanger seemed a bit of a cop-out, and the whole Doctor making his entrance to a medieval castle riding a tank while playing an electric guitar and wearing sunglasses was a little too much for me. Nevertheless, it was an enjoyable serial with a positive and fitting end. A must-see among Capaldi's 35-story catalogue. Now we find ourselves nearing the end of an era. The next story on my list is the 2-parter World Enough and Time, The Doctor Falls. Clara has long since left the TARDIS by this time, and had been replaced by companions Billy Potts and Nardole. Peter Capaldi had already announced that he was leaving by the end of this season, and Stephen Moffat, who had overstayed his welcome, was stepping down as showrunner. A new era was fast approaching, but not before Capaldi and Moffat would prevent us with another reminder as to their devotion to the show that they had loved so much. So, what makes this story so special? Well, first off, it features two incarnations of the Master, both that of Missy and that of her previous male form played by John Sim. The Master's reveal is excellent, and the appearance of the original design of the Cybermen is a wonderful homage to the Hartnell serial, The 10th Planet. This time Moffat gets the cliffhanger right, and Billy's conversion is truly chilling. This is a Cyberman origin story that packs a punch and is very entertaining. It is also a testament to Moffat's writing prowess. When he gets it right, he gets it right. Sci-fi horror mixed with new ideas, peril, and nostalgia make for a winning formula. If only Season 8 and 9 had been like Season 10. If only. And finally, it should come as no surprise that the best story to define Peter Capaldi's tenure as the Doctor is Heaven Sent. There aren't too many instances when the Doctor embarks on an adventure without a companion, but strangely, when he does, it often works. Tom Baker was the first to do it in The Deadly Assassin, and David Tennant kind of did it with The Specials. However, what makes this episode particularly impressive is that Capaldi goes it completely alone. Sure, there's a mysterious creature, but it doesn't utter a single word. The whole episode depends on Capaldi's narrative, which he does with ease. For some, it's not only Capaldi's best episode, but some would even consider it to be the best episode thus far in the whole of the Revival series. Personally, the punching of the diamond wall thing didn't wash with me, but otherwise I found this to be an excellent story. It's the definitive story of Capaldi's era, and rightly so. Well, that concludes this video on the essential guide to the 12th Doctor, Peter Capaldi. I hope you found this video to be both entertaining and informative. Until the next time, take care and have a good day.